This week on the weekly update we are going to be looking at the Legends of Catalonia and Drone Strike. All that coming up on this week's weekly update. Okay, firstly I do apologise if this is going to be a bit of a short weekly update. Well, I don't know about short, it might still be about 45 minutes long. I haven't made it yet, but there's not going to be much in the way of content on this, simply because there's a heck of a lot that I'm going to be doing. I mean, last week we only managed to do two videos, that of Legends of Catalonia and Drone Strike. However, although you might see me not doing as many videos this week, I am actually currently working hard for the Christmas Advent calendar. There are quite a lot of things that I'm trying to do at the moment, and for me to get on with and doing them, I can't really be doing as much let's plays as normal. So going forward, if you do start seeing less and less videos from me on YouTube, it's not that I'm giving up on YouTube. No, I am still here. I am still going to be doing stuff. I'm still going to be doing PSVR games. It's just that there are some projects that are going to need to take my time and take my focus, and I can't be doing them if I'm constantly playing Let's Plays. Yes, I know I have said this record before repeatedly, but this time it's coming up to Christmas and there are a few things that I want to get done with. Firstly, as I said, we've got an Advent calendar that's coming up soon for December. Now last year I did the Advent calendar, it's all based like in the space station. So this year I'm going to try and get it out in the open. It's going to start with nothing, and I'm going to like build it up one item each day, and you'll be able to watch this in 360 on your PSVR headset whilst when you're using the PlayStation's VR option for YouTube. Yeah, the YouTube app sorry, the YouTube app on the PlayStation has a VR option, so if you turn that on, put your VR headset on, and you'll be able to watch my Advent calendar each day as it goes through. Now, like I said, it is going to take me a long time to actually try and do this, but I'm doing it one day at a time. So far I've only done up to like day 5 or day 6, so I'm hoping that I can at least get 20 days done before the start of September, and hopefully we'll have that lot ready for you. Now, I do have a couple of work holidays coming up, so this up and coming week I've got a few days off on there, and also in December I have booked a whole load of holidays. So I'm going to be spending my holidays solely on making these animations. Well, it's not actually an animation because I can't really animate in 360, I can only just do still pictures. So please bear with me whilst I'm doing these graphics, this Advent calendar and so on and so forth. Also coming up, I have been looking a little bit into Rec Room, and I've been having a word with a few friends through friends in there that kind of want to stay anonymous at the moment, and they've been telling me that they've been giving me some ideas or such that I can do on creating Rec Room, and such as creating things on a grand scale, sending a rocket to the moon and such. So I want to spend a little time programming stuff in Rec Room, because we've got Dreams coming up soon, and if I can start learning some decent stuff in Rec Room, I'll probably be able to transfer that knowledge over to when Dreams come out and start creating some decent stuff for Dreams. So there's a lot of personal growth here that I'm trying to go through, a lot of training, a lot of programming, a lot of design and such. But as I said, that's just for me. just for me to do a little bit of self-improvement, see if I can level up my skills, so to speak. Back up. Also, this week, I've been one of the other members of our gaming community. You may know him, a little guy called Gamertag. He did a 24-hour streaming special for cancer research. And I mean, one of my the videos you saw that I did on yesterday was just me just playing along with him. So you want to go check out Gamertag's community. You see his channels with the 24-hour live stream. He's got donations and willing to accept any donations or super chats to go for cancer research, to try and let's beat this dragon cancer campaign. Or, well, he probably didn't say that, I just did it. But yeah, go check him out. See, have a look into his 24-hour live stream and see what you think if you want to donate to help to support a fight against the cancer research. Not supporting a fight against cancer research, but supporting the fight that cancer research is doing. Yeah, you know what I mean. Which also brings me to another matter that I want to do. Last year, round about this time last year actually, I did a Skyrim 24-hour challenge where I basically sat the headset on, put the headset on, never took it off. Well, okay, maybe once or twice going to the toilet or eating a little bit of food, but I was in Skyrim for 24 hours, well, 25 and a half. I kept it on for a little bit. I didn't realise I'd already passed the mark. And I loved it. I enjoyed it. And I've been wanting to do another 24-hour challenge again myself. And I've been announcing this. This was before I found out Gamertag did his 24 hours. So please don't think that I'm trying to copy him or anything like that. I've done this last year and I want to do it again this year. But the thing is, what do I want to do this year? Now, I'm a little bit stuck as to try and figure out what I need to do or what I want to do for this. I would like to do another 24-hour Skyrim, simply because Skyrim is one of the only VR games that is open world and you can just constantly play it for 24 hours or 80 hours, so 125 going on 300. Yeah, Skyrim is one of those games you can just play and play and play because it's just so vast, it's just so massive, and it's one of the only games on PSVR that will allow you to do this without suffering dire straits of boredom. Yes, I know Tetris might have an endless mode, or playing a polygamous or whatever that psychedelic game is. I'm sure that you can play them endlessly, but your mind will turn to mush if you ever tempted to do that, because it's just like the same thing over and over again. And no, that will be just way too hard to keep awake for doing the same thing. So doing a 24-hour challenge, the problem is not staying awake for 24 hours, because with the right adrenaline rush, you are going to be staying awake. You will stay awake because your body needs to do stuff, do this, that, the other. It needs to breathe. You need to fight. You need to rampage through monsters, and your mind stays active. The problem during a 24-hour video marathon or 24-hour gaming marathon is boredom. Now, I myself, I make it go out on record that I am never bored. It is literally impossible for me to be bored, and I do mean that literal sense in that word literally in the correct way. I cannot be bored because I'm always finding stuff to do. Even if I was locked in a padded cell with my arms tied together, I would just spend the next several hours just rummaging through my mind, just making up scenarios or statics. There's always something that I want to do. And if there is an attempt, if there is a time when boredom seems to be approaching, there's nothing to do, nothing to think about, there's no activities to do, and this is where I think that I might even be partially narcoleptic. I got no medical evidence to prove that, only just my thoughts. Why I might be partially narcoleptic is because if there is nothing to do, if no thoughts to be taken, no activities to do, my mind would just shut down and fall asleep. It will. I mean, I've been sitting at a table talking to like a whole host of people, and I find that I just can't understand anything that they're saying because the room din is too big, or I'm just not interested. And then I end up just falling asleep at the table whilst everyone else is just talking now. Just go, yeah. But hey ho, that's me. And that's the big problem for doing like a 24-hour live stream, is to be active, to be constantly doing something. Now, if I did Skyrim again, I would have to choose if I want to carry on my previous character. If I carried on my previous character, then there isn't much else for my previous character to do, because he's done all like the major quests, he's gotten himself a big house. Anything else is just grinding to get that next level up, and that is tedious and mind-numbing. And you guys don't want to be watching that for 24 hours, so I might try and find something new to boost it up. What Gamertag did when he did his 24 hours, he did a multitude of different games. I mean, he started out like Skyrim, he started out with Wipeout, did a little bit of Tetris, then some Fallout, Firewall, maybe not in that order. So he was constantly turning his live stream off so he can load up the next game and then play the next game. I want it to be one continuous play. So I'm getting one game that I have to play from beginning to end. And at the moment, like I said, Skyrim seems to be the only one that I can use. If I wanted to go for... Well, not if I want to go for anything. There is another game that's coming out soon which possibly might have an open world element to it, which is called Borderlands VR. I haven't actually played the original Borderlands, but I've been told that this VR version of it is going to be absolutely epic. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to if Borderlands 2 the Borderlands VR comes out. And if it is up to what I think is the right level, it might be just enough to do a complete 24 hours. The thing is, that will be coming out round about, or maybe just after that, I'm going to do my live stream, do my 24-hour challenge. I might make it 48 hours. We'll have to see. I mean, I could have done it last time, but things like work entails. Now, I could do the 24-hour challenge with the upcoming holiday this week, but considering that I've got to get my animations sorted out for the advent calendar, well, not animations, 360 pictures for the advent calendar, I don't think I'm going to have enough time to do it in those 4 days. So therefore, I don't think I'll be able to do it in the 4 days up and coming, but in mid-December. So we're going to have to see about that. Another thing is that as I say, Gamertag did his 24-hour challenge on for charity. And if I was to do this for charity, the charity I was going to pick, I mean, I don't know if I can actually do this, in fact. I don't even know how to get Super Chat up on here. So I'll have to look into see if I can get Super Chat or get up some sort of donations to go on. So more extra work to look out to, see if I can get that sorted out. But what charity I would like to do for or donate to would be a Crisis Over Christmas, and it'll be at the right time as well because it will be round about Christmas time. Crisis Open Christmas is something that I've actually volunteered and worked for a few years actually, just over Christmas, basically going on helping out. It's setting up a homeless shelter for over Christmas, bringing the people in, feeding them, making sure they go to sleep, and making sure they're comfortable. Also set up a little internet site so that they can browse the internet for anything from jobs or check their emails, because simple things like checking emails is not something they can do on a regular basis. Who knows, it could be a lost family member that is trying to get in contact with them, or maybe a job opportunity for the homeless. So getting that sort of internet connection ready and sorted out for Crisis Open Christmas, for them on Crisis Open Christmas, is quite an important task, which I said yours truly helped out with in a couple of times. So if there is any charities that I think will be worth doing, I think that it will be Crisis Open Christmas for this Christmas. And it will be good in relation to Skyrim, because Skyrim is also constantly snowing. It seems like a bit Christmassy in itself. And I play the role of the Dragonborn homeless bum on the streets. Might have a few rummage, because I always rummage around in barrels or other people's bins just to try and get various bits of scraps. Yeah, I've just broken out of prison. I'm currently wearing scrap clothes and just wandering around the towns as a homeless beggar. just trying to make my way in the world. And yeah, I think that will be that sort of like theme, I think, might be quite fun. Although the fact of homelessness isn't really a fun; it's very serious issue. And sorry, I'm blabbering for such a short video. I haven't even gone past the first stage yet, the intro. Yeah, okay, nextly, let's go on to the games that we did this week. The first game up that we had is Legends of Catalonia. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Catalonia. Catalonia. Well, when I first looked at this, well, it was a free game, so yeah, a free game, download it, see what you think. And it's a little bit back and forth, but it's a free game. So you play it on the knowledge that it's a free game, so you give it certain passes in certain design elements. It sets itself up so that you're currently talking to this statue that's telling you about all the wonders of Catalonia, the legends, the dragons, the impossible feats that these people claim to, the magnificent chefs, the legendary climber, or the dragon slayer. And I believe these are all actual people that existed in Catalonia, simply because even though this game looks very mystical, with like the giant elephant standing over you on those stalks of massive feats and fighting the dragons, it looks very mythical, and I'm sure that the elephants are part of their religion or lore or such, but this isn't a game. This isn't really even an experience either. But what I get from this is a tourist information brochure, simply because that with each element that you have to surpass, every trial that you have to undertake, it is giving you information about the country, the ups and downs, the history of the country, where these things actually come from, and the roles that it plays in the society that it envelops. Despite the fact you might be trying to grab lizards to get magical crystals out of them, doesn't beat the fact that we're talking to like 3 famous chefs of the era that have made some wonderful meals, or the fact that you're using you're trying to lure a dragon out of the castle who's just trying to reclaim her eggs. The other one of my favourites, well, not really too many favourites, but was the drone flying through the Alps just to, or the mountains, just to get to the highest points to reach some people to warn them of a incoming storm. But as I said, it gives the impression that it's trying to be a game stroke experience, but what it is a tourist information brochure. It's trying to get you interested in the country, and to be perfectly honest, I kind of like it. I like the way that they're actually presenting this out as a VR experience to go for, with some games to play, some levels to go through, some challenges to overcome, and it's quite a refreshing little thing. I would say bugs and some slight little acting annoyances aside, because I don't think this game was made by proper developers or actors even. I mean, one of the things that I made most comment about was the main knight sound like a person speaking into a metal waste paper basket. And if you're any fan of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the person that played Marvin actually admitted that's how he originally did the voice of Marvin. He actually picked up a trash can, emptied it out, and started speaking into it. And say, "Oh, I don't have a metal. Actually, no, I don't have a metal trash can down here at the moment." But it was very echoey. Echoey. Sorry, I don't have the equipment here. But yeah, that's kind of how it felt with some of the acting and some of the it made it up just because they wanted to show off their areas, their land, their historical landmarks, and I'm even guessing some of their religion, because like I said, going over the lake with those massive elephants hanging overhead, I think they're like, might be called world elephants or something, and they looked really quite impressive. I really did like looking at them. They got some sort of, I'm sure that I've seen them somewhere before, those giant elephants. I'm not too sure where though. But yeah, it's a free game. Download it and enjoy the information brochure that they give at the end of the game. And I wouldn't be surprised if more tourist companies do things like this for their sites if they want to bring in tourism. I think this is a good idea to do VR tour guides of their histories and their religions and culture. Culture, that's the word I was looking for, and their culture. I think that was just a really clever idea. So whoever thought of that, well done, thank you. And to make it free, extra bonus points. Okay, next up, Drone Strike. Now, Drone Strike is basically just an on-rail shooter. I mean, the graphics are quite decent on there, and they try to give a little bit of a storyline with the people doing the exposition over you. But there's not really much to this. It's an online shooter, and it's everything an on-rail shooter, and it's everything that you expect from an on-rail shooter. The entire game is relatively short, and all you need to do is, as the waves and hordes of enemies swarm at you, you just got to shoot them. That's it. I mean, it has different elements of shooting them. You can either shoot them with the gun, or you can hover it with the cursor and highlight it, and then it'll shoot a missile at it. The missiles increase, but there's not really much else to it apart from that. There are various different types of shooters. Sorry, there are very different types of monsters or drones in this case that launch at you, but there's no like real jump scares. I'm guessing that since I played Rush of Blood the other day, that was really awesome online rail shooter. This one seems very low down on its level. I mean, if you like on rail shooters, probably go for it. But I mean, this isn't one that I would really want to pay out that much in the way of money for, considering there's not much story to it. There's not much gameplay. I mean, you shoot stuff and that's it. You shoot some more stuff, something big comes in, so you shoot the bigger stuff, and that's it from start to finish. And there's only 3 levels as well, so you got like 3 levels. I like the fact that it allows you to power up and keep those power ups when you go back to the main menu. So if you want to play the same level over again, you keep the power ups and you power up even more. But even those power ups maximize out eventually, so you're basically just playing the areas over to grind it so you can get maximum level of power ups before you do the next level. But I mean, in this case, when I played it, I basically just blitzed through the entire game. I don't think I even died once. Or did I die once? I think I might have died once. I don't know, I can't remember. So it was just that it was just that unimaginative or that uninteresting. I can't even remember if I died in the game or not. So I don't recommend this game unless you really like shooters, on rail shooters, where you don't need to worry about walking and just like shoot everything that's around you. But that sort of like gets repetitive. You go around a corner, there's more things. In fact, I even started looking at the hidden items before I even knew there were even hidden items there. As I went around the corner, I just knew, okay, there's going to be a box over there, and I just went round, shot it, and on fire, because it just got that predictable that I knew where the hidden stuff was. So I really honestly can't recommend this game, because it's barely even a game. I know that what my guidelines for what are games and for what are experiences are really quite strict, and a lot of games that I think that are out there on the PlayStation PSVR are actually experiences rather than games. I'm not even too sure that I can count this as a proper game, although it ticks pretty much most of the boxes. It has a linear progression. It barely has the absolute minimum of a storyline or character growth. It is, well, a MOBA. A mobile game. I mean, you can get games on the mobile that are better than this. But, hey ho. We'll see. Yeah, I recommend leaving this one out until it gets into the bargain bucket, or another one for the bargain bin weight sale, which probably come out early next year in the January sale. So wait until then until it gets it. But trust me, you're not missing much in the way of this. Which is what we're looking forward to next week. Yeah, Fallout 76. Over the previous week, we've been playing a little bit of Fallout 76, because when that came out, that was fun and enjoy. Well, it wasn't really that fun when the beta came out. I know a lot of people were complaining about the bugs and the problems, but as a Bethesda game, you're always expecting bugs and problems. Okay, yeah, we admit that we know that the game launcher crashed at launch, well, before launch, and we had all the problem with the PC players having to read down their 50 odd gigabytes of data, not being able to get the first few days of gameplay. But yeah, Bethesda has been a real Bethesda on this aspect, with all these bugs and problems. But that's not really my problem that I have with Fallout 76 beta. The problem that I have with Fallout 76 beta is that the game seems to be as empty as a wasteland itself. But that's sort of the criticism that I have for most online games of this type. You got like a massive area, and the only thing that's worth interacting with is other players. And when there's not going to be other players there, you're just going around shooting mobs. It's like the pointer says, go here, collect that stuff, shoot all the people around. And that's boring after the 50th time or the 100th time. When you play the game, you get certain scripted elements that'll go through. I mean, when you're playing single player games, proper single player games like Fallout 4, you get certain scripted elements, like right at the beginning you hear over the news reporter that the bombs are falling from the air. Everyone rushed to the fallout shelter, so everyone's rushing to try and get to the fallout shelter. You see like the guards guiding you to come in, the people panicking, some people holding their children, and you get to the gates, you hear the people that are saying, let us in, please let us in, are you on the list? No, you're not on the list. But we are, you're wrestling in. There is activity, there is scripture, there is things that are going on, and when you get to the platform, the massive nuclear explosions goes off, and that's what we love. The action, the storytelling, the scripted nature of a single player game, which is all removed when we pull it to an online game. Some games have tried to keep that level of detail, and every single time they fail to make a proper single player game. And what I've seen from the Fallout 76 beta is emptiness. Everything seems hollow. The only thing that brings any life to this is the other players, and considering there's only like 20 players per server, and those aren't even permanent aspects they make, it just seems empty. And that's my main criticism for Fallout 76. From playing the beta, that is. And yeah, Bethesda have been trying to stop people from streaming it, considering how bad the reviews have gotten from that. But hey ho, normally I trust Bethesda. Bethesda normally knows what they're doing. I'm really hoping that this is just a pit stop for them playing around with stuff. As I said on the previous video, Fallout Vegas was to Fallout 3 what Fallout 76 is to Fallout 4. It's an experiment. They just added a little something to make their own little offshoot game. Fallout Vegas wasn't Fallout 5. Fallout 76 is not Fallout 6. But at the moment we know that they are working on the next Elder Scrolls game. So for Skyrim 2.0 or Elder Scrolls 6, we are looking very much forward to that. And to be perfectly honest, I want 76 to be left in the dust of the wasteland that it's created. And let's look forward to Elder Scrolls 6. Come on, Elder Scrolls 6. Okay, sorry about that little segue there onto Fallout 76. Not in my planned schedule, but this is all unscripted anyway. And again, sorry for the lack of content of this video. As I said at the beginning, I've been working so much on all the other things I've been doing this morning, from trying to create the advent calendar for this year, having a look into Rec Room's room creation, trying to create some gadgets and gizmos and playing around with programming on that, as well as beta testing Fallout 76 when that came out, and also cheering on Gamertag when he was doing his thing. So it's been a little bit of a busy week, and I am going to be closing this up here. Well, As I said, going forward for the next week, I mean, I do have 1 or 2 videos. I've got Downward Spiral left to do. I might find another game or so to play. I'm sure, I think there was another game that I needed to play as well. But in general, you might not be seeing much in the way of live streams from me at the moment, or general Let's Plays, simply because I really need to get my head down and start making my animations again. I need to get the advent calendar ready for 2018, December 2018. Otherwise, yeah, I'll get like 10 days in and not have it ready yet. Okay, not have day 11 ready, so I want to make sure we've got that good for you. Okay, so thanks very much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope you've enjoyed watching this as much as I've enjoyed creating this. Thanks very much. I'll see you guys out there.